A light gone too soon. Regina King's silent battle after the loss of her son. In the tapestry of grief, there are threads too fragile to touch, the kind that form when a mother loses her only child. For the world-renowned actress and director Regina King, that unimaginable pain became a reality in 2022 when her beloved son, Ian Alexander Jr., tragically took his own life. The loss didn't just break her heart. It shattered her spirit, disrupted her soul, and forever changed the path of a woman the world had long admired for her strength, grace, and unmatched talent. Regina King, a trailblazing talent. Before diving into the heartbreak that redefined her life, it's important to remember who Regina King is, not just to Hollywood, but to the millions who have watched her evolve over the years. Regina King's career spans decades, from her breakout role as Brenda Jenkins on 227 to becoming one of the most respected and decorated actresses in the business. Her work in films like Jerry Maguire, Ray, and If Beale Street Could Talk solidified her reputation, with the latter earning her an Academy Award and a Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actress in 2019. King's brilliance extended to the small screen, where her performances in American Crime and 7 Seconds earned her multiple Emmy Awards. But it wasn't just the accolades or the roles that made Regina iconic. It was her resilience, her authenticity, and the quiet dignity with which she carried herself in every room she entered. She was, without a doubt, one of the GOATs, greatest of all time, in her field. But beyond all that success was her most cherished role, being a mother. Ian, Regina's world, her light, her joy. Regina King was a proud mother, often referring to her only son, Ian Alexander Jr., as her greatest source of inspiration. After divorcing Ian's father in 2007, King raised him as a single mother, openly sharing the ups and downs of solo parenting. Despite the challenges, she always maintained that nothing was more powerful than her love for her son. That love was mutual. Ian never hesitated to gush about his mother in interviews, calling her his superhero and praising the way she always separated her professional life from their family time. They were not just mother and son, they were best friends. Their bond was so strong they even had matching tattoos on their forearms reading unconditional love in Aramaic, a phrase that perfectly encapsulated their relationship. But that beautiful journey came to a devastating halt in January 2022 when Ian died by suicide, just days after his 26th birthday. The news sent shockwaves throughout the entertainment industry and the world. Regina, known for her poise and public presence, vanished from the spotlight. Not out of weakness, but out of necessity, because sometimes the strongest thing a person can do is simply disappear and try to breathe. The warning signs and the unspoken pain. In the days leading up to his death, Ian shared troubling sentiments on social media. He tweeted, "I don't think Instagram is healthy for me," alongside an image from SpongeBob SquarePants where tiny versions of the character panic amidst chaos, a visual metaphor for his own mental state. The pain he carried was palpable, but still, no one expected the worst. When it came, it was like a gut punch to the world and an irreparable wound to Regina. In a public statement at the time, the King family wrote, "Our family is devastated at the deepest level by the loss of Ian. He is such a bright light who cared so deeply about the happiness of others." Despite the public's concern and speculation, Regina King remained silent about her son's death for over 2 years, until March 2024, when she finally broke that silence in a deeply emotional interview with Robin Roberts. Regina speaks, her first words after Ian's death. When Regina finally opened up, the weight of her grief was still visibly etched into every word and expression. She didn't speak as an actress or a public figure. She spoke as a grieving mother trying to make sense of the unthinkable. "I understand that Ian didn't want to be here anymore," she said through tears. "As his mother, I had to sit with that. And sitting with that doesn't mean agreeing with it, but respecting that it was his journey. People may not understand that, but they didn't live his experience." King emphasized that being Ian's mom remains her favorite thing about herself, a title she will always cherish even through the pain. She shared that she often still feels Ian's presence, sometimes through laughter, sometimes through tears, but always deeply. "Grief," she said, "is just love with nowhere to go." It was a sentiment that resonated with thousands of grieving parents across the world. In her vulnerability, Regina reminded us that pain doesn't disappear, we just learn to carry it differently. Keeping Ian's legacy alive. Since Ian's passing, Regina has found small but meaningful ways to keep his memory alive. On what would have been his 27th birthday in January 2023, she posted a video of a lantern lighting ceremony, writing, "January 19th is Ian's birthday. As we still process his physical absence, we celebrate his presence. His spirit is the thread that connects us. Orange is your favorite color, the fire and the calm. I see you in everything I breathe." In late 2024, she continued to honor Ian by sharing her 7 favorite albums of the year, a nod to his favorite number. In that post, she wrote, "7 is the number of completion, a perfect way to reflect on the year's highlights. Wishing you and your families the faith to believe, the energy to create, and the love to sustain a peaceful and joyous holiday season." These tributes are more than just social media posts, they are spiritual lifelines. They are how a grieving mother continues to speak to her son. Heartbreak and love. Regina's journey beyond loss. Long before her world crumbled in 2022, Regina had already weathered her share of heartbreak. She married Ian Alexander Sr. in 1997, but the marriage ended in 2007 after years of growing apart. Regina later reflected on the pain of divorce in the book He Never Came Home, writing honestly about being a child of divorce and later going through her own. In the early 2010s, Regina entered a relationship with actor Malcolm Jamal Warner. Fans were thrilled to see 2 Black sitcom icons together. It seemed like a match made in Hollywood heaven. But in March 2013, Warner abruptly ended the relationship, on Valentine's Day. Regina later revealed that he even asked her and Ian to move out of his home, a move that left her heartbroken and blindsided. "That's tough," she told Us Weekly. "Someone broke up with me on Valentine's, and then sent flowers that said, 'I still love you.' I threw them in the trash." Despite these romantic setbacks, Regina maintained a focus on her career and her son. Dating took a backseat, and understandably so. "My girlfriends are like, 'You think a man's just going to knock on the door?'" she joked to Wendy Williams. "And I wish he would. But I need to make it more of a priority." But after Ian's death, none of those past heartbreaks could compare to what she now carried every day. Because nothing compares to losing a child. Not even the worst breakup. A different Regina King. Regina King is not the same person she was before 2022, and she openly admits that. She walks differently now. She speaks more softly. She smiles, but behind it lives a storm of emotions too complex for language. And that's why we don't see her as often. Not because she's faded away, but because she's trying to survive. Trying to make sense of a world where her son no longer exists. Trying to navigate red carpets, award shows, and interviews without collapsing under the weight of her own sorrow. Still, when she does appear, like at the 2024 Met Gala, there's a quiet strength in her eyes. She may be down, but she is not out. Regina King is rebuilding herself, not for the public, not for Hollywood, but for herself and the son she still honors with every breath. Final thoughts when strength is silent. There's something indescribably powerful about the way Regina King has chosen to grieve. In a world that often demands we put on a brave face, she chose to step back, to fall apart, to feel every inch of the pain, and in doing so, she's shown us what real strength looks like. Her story is not just about loss, it's about unconditional love, unrelenting pain, and the slow process of healing in a world that never stops moving. Ian may be gone physically, but in every step Regina takes, in every quiet smile, in every moment of reflection, he is there. And maybe that's the kind of legacy any parent would want to leave behind. Not fame, not fortune, but to be remembered as someone's favorite part of themselves. Regina King is still here, still breathing, still grieving, and for now, that's more than enough.